Hello everyone, I'm Rohit Gauri Shetty and I'm representing my team Mercedes. As a course project on modeling and rendering, we have we have designed and implemented a basic project called the kitchen. Here it is, the kitchen. We have designed every item in this, and we have like rendered using our knowledge, and we have learned so much on this project. Let's start our introduction. I'll first introduce which software we used. It is Autodesk Maya, also known as Maya. It's a computer graphics software that is available on Windows, Mac OS, and Linux platform too. It was released in 1998 and is currently owned by Autodesk. Maya is widely used in creating interactive applications including video games, animated films, TV series, visual effects, etc., and many more in the computer graphics industry. The name Maya came from a project code name as it was originally a next generation animation product. One of the reasons that Maya became famous in the computer graphics software industry is because the Walt Disney featured animation worked closely with Maya in the production of Dinosaur. During the production, Walt Disney has made a request to make the user interface customizable in order to create a personal workflow. And yeah, Maya is very good to learn for our for ourselves, like for as a as a beginner, because like you can find many and many tutorials on the net and easily you can do modeling and rendering. And I'll explain modeling and rendering. What is modeling? Modeling is nothing but how to design an object in an or you can just design an object in the real world, or you can just imagine an object and design it. The two main steps of workflow are modeling and rendering. If we use a box as an example, as here I showed it, modeling is nothing but how the box is done. Basically, modeling in Maya is a combination of different polygons that are modified using the NURBS tools in order to create the shape or pattern design. On the other hand, rendering could be compared to taking a picture of a box where the camera acts as a renderer. That is nothing but rendering is nothing but in an angle. If you have a camera, if we click the picture of it in the direction of the in the direction facing the object, that is nothing but rendering. Using different kind of light sources would give out different lights intensity and shadow effects. The materials used to make the box would also affect the effects of light sources. Different cameras would produce a different results, similarly to using different rendering packages and viewing angles and also play a role in rendering results. Now comes to lighting. In our project we use two types of lights, area light and a point light. In Maya, area lights is a two-dimensional rectangular light source where it is used to simulate the rectangular reflection of window onto surfaces. It can produce effects of light and shadow in high quality. But yeah, every advantage has a disadvantage. Every coin has its two sides. The disadvantage is it takes lot of time to render, and but the quality it produces is very good. Point light simulates a ray pointing out from one small point in space, similarly to a point light bulb that emits light uniformly in all directions. The shadow effect of a point light aims away and out from the light source in all directions, as you can see in the picture. Now comes to the shaders we used. We have like many shaders in Maya. They are inbuilt, no need to add any plugins and nothing. But out of that, we thought we'll select only three because that would uh, match our project very well. Surface materials shows the types of surfaces that are allowed to be mapped to models. Different types of shadows will result in the attributes such as shyness, matte, reflective, glossiness, etc. It depends upon the object you model. The three material types used in this project are Fongy, and Lambert. Fong gives a glossy or glossy surface, Example, like you want to model a car or telephone or something which you need to add as something shiny or glossiness to it. You can just add form with the add specular highlights. As you can see in the third picture, it has a hard specular highlights. Fongy is a simpler version of the Fong material that gives softer highlight and is faster to render though. Lambert represents matter surfaces. Any matter surfaces, like in our project we designed a pan which should be a like matter surface. So we used that one, and the wine bottle cork, that is also a Lambert. And with no specular highlights. Yeah. Renderers. So like in the Maya software we have an inbuilt renderer, but uh, furthermore the two rendering packages used in the projects are, like I said, Maya software, built-in software, and the Mental Ray. We need to install that. The Maya software rendering packages produce a high quality image where it uses scanline that does not give reflections or refractions. Nevertheless, Maya gives us an option to turn on ray tracing that enables the reflections and refractions too. Mental Ray package is an additional plugin that requires installation, but yeah, it's available in their website. You can easily download it. The package is capable of producing professional quality images. Like, it is used in the many movies like The Hulk, The Matrix Reloaded, and Revolution, Star Wars, etc., and many movies. The Day After Tomorrow, yeah, that too. Now we enter to modeling. From the live demonstration, we realized that we are one of the few groups that created every single object from scratch without using any object or scene template. We appreciate that. Thus, even though our scene might look much smaller than many others, it is very time consuming to create each and every object and put them together within a scene. One reason for using Maya was that it allows us to focus on rendering our design in different way, which is the main objective of this assignment too. Moreover, Maya itself is a popular software, and yeah, as I said, it's a many tutorials. We can, if we have time, if you have a zeal to work on it, you can go through it. There's many tutorials and documents available. Especially, I can give credits to YouTube. So this is a basic idea we have got for, like, this is a first initial sketch we have drawn onto paper. Like, we just had a team meeting for the first team meeting, and we thought of going to different models. We thought of doing, but yeah, we just picked the one which we need to show differently from other projects. So we have taken kitchen. We started our designing steps with just a kitchen set without any extra object. Then we agreed that our design does not have enough level of details in a way that will make it hard to show the differences through various options of rendering. We created more objects to be placed to the scene that would be used as a focus point for our analysis. The objects are stool, apples and bowls, and wine set, cans and pans, as you saw already. These objects would give us a chance to assign different materials and colors in a manner that we can test the effects of lighting and shadows between each object with different materials and colors assigned to. The team has agreed upon using the kitchen design, and we went forward with that. So this is a wireframe diagram of our project, and that this skeleton view of our design and gives a good idea of how objects were created. And the modeling process was starting initially with walls, ceiling, and floors, which are easy to do as just in dragging polygons, which simply the cubes that are stretched into out of three coordinates. The cabinets and countertop also a collection of rectangular cubes combined together. Imagine that you're creating a piece of wood using a polygon and put them together to create a design or an object. To be honest, we believe that any objects can be made by using polygon because Maya allows us to manipulate the shapes in almost any possible way one could think of. This is the this is the initial diagram without any lighting or without any colors we did. It's pure by the polygons and the nerve tools we used. As I said, the modeling started with the wall, ceiling, and floor, and then we added chairs, and then we started detailing every object, and then we added the apples, bowls, wines, wine bottles, etc. It's same. Like, we had just added lighting, the positions of lighting, and the rendering cameras. We adjusted it, and we went detailedly to every model and did that. And then we started adding the basic stuff like the apple and bowl. First, we added apple and bowl. How we create an apple and bowls? The apple was created using a spear and was turned into an apple shape by sculpt modeling. There's an awesome tool we can by using which we can do an apple called sculpt modeling. If you select a decent number of vertices to the polygon, then it's easy to give it more curves. In this case, we gave more curves on the top and bottom of the apple. So like selecting the vertices of the sphere and just bumping up and down so we can give a shape of an apple. For this time, a cuboid was used where we extended it in one side and narrowed it on the other side. Now we should have a perfect apple. So we make more copies of them and we rotate it in different angles and directions and placed it in a bowl. So how is bowl is created? Can be created by using a nerve tool. We just make a curve using nerve tool and rotate it in 360 degrees. So then you can get a bowl. Next we have designed wine bottle and wine glass and wine bottle with a cork. The wine bottle was made from nerves curve with a combination of two three-point arcs aligned and integrated in a 360-degree to form the complete bottle. On the other hand, the work was simply a cylinder with one side narrowed down using nerves tool. The wine glass was made similarly to the wine bottle, where we started with nerves curves and a three-point arc with integrated in integration in a 360 degrees again trans and again yeah we can adjust attributes for that like the transparency and the color and things. And we designed cans and pan. At this step, you should already see the pattern in creating these objects. Obviously, the can can be created using a cylinder where both edges were narrowed down similarly to the wine cork. Moreover, the pan can be made using same concept as a bowl, but with a larger base though. To make things more interesting, the handle of the pan can be created using the same base design as either the wine cork or the apple stem. So this is our modeling part. Next, we go for rendering. Rendering is the life for the project. Up to now, you're just seen as a black and white picture of a picture, but by the help of rendering, you'll get the soul for the picture or the project we created. First, the hardware we used, I'll create for that. The laptop we used is Sagar NP8278S with a fourth generation Intel Haswell Core i7 4810MQ processor with 2.8 GHz, 6 MB of Intel Smart Cache, and the RAM is 16 gigs DDR3, and the GPU is NVIDIA GeForce GTX 870M. So these are the list of objects and materials we created. The objects are like wall ceiling, it's a Lambert, and this cabinets, fridge, microwave, stills, spotlights, and wine cork. These are all Lambert. We use Lambert because it doesn't need any shiny part. It's a, like a matte finish or non-transparent. We use floor. Floor is also Lambert though, but we use wood color. We used wood color to give the texture that we have a wooden flooring in our kitchen. And the countertop Lambert with a marble color. Here, then it is a Lambert, but we have a reflection for that. We'll show how it is. And the stove and sink, these are all Fongi, and the remaining are Fong. rendering. The two figures show that the mental ray produces a very realistic shadow effects noticeable from the stool shadows, spotlight shadows, and cabinet shadows, each having different shadow intensity depending on the distance of objects from each light source and the distance between the objects and the background. As you can see in the picture, we can see that the mental ray gives importance to shadow intensity, as we can see that the rightmost tool has a very dark shadow. This is due to the fact that the stool is very close to the area light. As you can see to the leftmost of the picture, there is an area light. So the leftmost chair has a high intensity of shadow than compared to the rightmost chair. Meanwhile, we can see that the shadow of the fridge is more lighter than the stools. This is because of the further away from the light source, as I said. So we could confirm the mental ray takes distance and light intensity into account when rendering shadows. Here also the same thing. As you can see, like the one of the area light was placed under the oven, and the here I want to give an observation that the first observation was the most of the shadows are going in the same direction due to the point lighting having much higher intensity than area light. The angle view is a great example of showing how mental ray also render different sizes of shadows, as we can see on the cabinet door knob shadows being smaller on the right and larger on the left, even though they have the same size. Moreover, one of the little details that we really like is the pan shadow on the stove. As you can see, we can see that the pan's handle has a two shadows, one on the left that is darker due to the brighter point light, and the one on the right that is lighter from the less bright area light from under the microwave. In addition to the two sections on the shadows and reflections, one of the areas that we spend most time on is the detail settings in lighting and ray tracing. We have learned that these small values in the settings do matter in outcome images, especially the ray tracing value option of the lighting that allows us to create an smoother and more realistic shadow effects. The two pictures I am showing here are focused on reflection of Lambert material objects that are supposed to be mattered, but with an intensity from different Maya sources. Reflections do occur within the mental ray renderer. We were not able to create reflections in every mental ray rendered images, and we believe it is due to the camera angle against the lighting intensity. We actually carried out an experiment to test this in a real life setting by using a matte LCD monitor against various lighting and viewing angle. The result is an expected way. If we keep the lightning as a constant, there exist viewing angles that do give our reflections out of the monitor, and some that do not. At this point, we were really impressed with the mental ray rendering packages on this ability, and we appreciate it to create realistic lighting and shadow effects. In addition to the two sections on shadows and reflections, one of the area that we spend most of the time is the detail settings in lighting and ray tracing. We have learned that these small values really matters. In the below example, as you can see, it is not done by mental reading. You cannot see any reflections for that. Here the same thing. Yeah. And the below pictures you cannot see, like, there are less amount of reflections you can see. There's less differentiation of reflections. That is because of just the tool, the power of rendering, mental rendering. Here the right, as you can see, as I said, our countertop flooring is given by Lambert with marble finishing. So you can see the exactly the reflection of a wine bottle on that, but you cannot see that same kind in here in the below picture. The right camera angle with enough light intensity will give you an reflection on Lambert. It's all about giving it enough light and find the right camera angle. Now that we have analyzed the kitchen set in an aspect of lighting and shadows, we'll be shifting our focus onto the objects that are added to the scene. The objects are stools, apples and bowls, wine set, cans and pans. The stools are mapped with the Lambert material when ignoring the shadows that is not available in the Maya software package. The difference between the two renders in this figure is that the edge of the stool's legs are much smoother in mental ray and more lighter effect are shown as a result of available rays. Ray tracing in mental ray package. So, as I said, this is a clear picture of difference between the mental ray trace rendering and the inbuilt Maya rendering. This shown that on the matter surface with dark color, the professional quality of mental ray will reflect in a much smoother edge. The next perfect example to give the importance of rendering is bowl and apple. In addition to the wine and glasses we produce, we have done apple and bowl. We compare the two rendering packages on objects with fungi material. This figure is a great example of showing the shyness or glossiness of an apple and the apple bowl. Materials and light settings were kept constant. That thus shows that the mental ray renderer could extract the reflection properties of fungi better than the Maya software renderer. In this example, the lightning and the shadows played a big role. As you can see, the leftmost image is the picture rendered by Arnold rendering, and the right top picture is by Mental Ray. That is a perfect example of good rendering. So here, as you can also see, there is a lot of noise in the Arnold rendering. It takes less than a minute to render, but the mental ray rendering it takes like 5 minutes to 5 to 6 minutes for the same picture to render, but the output is awesome. As we have compared the Lambert against fungi materials, we would like to put them in the same object for further analysis. The wine bottle and the wine bottle, wine bottle and its cork. Wine bottle is made up of fungi, while the wine bottle cork is made up of Lambert. There is a perfect difference between them both. Whereas the wine bottle is a shiny metal, as you can see, but the cork is non-shiny, and you can easily differentiate between them. Now, the most realistic rendering image of the wine glass that we produced is shown in the last slides, with the viewing angle focused on reducing the light intensity shine onto the glass. We intentionally rendered this image in a viewing angle that reflects too much light as we wanted to show our learning process on the effects of lighting on fungi material with the transparency settings. Is our evidence of smooth edge and reflections rendering difference between two rendering packages. However, the main purpose of this figure is our approach to imitate a metal property of the cans. The whiteness and the specular color value settings are used to imitate the shiny metal look of the tin cans. This figure tells the rendering of the pan, or furthermore exploration of metals where the pans were only assigned a simple plain dark color to get a matte finish, and the results were expected in that it gives out a Teflon matte metal look with some reflections were rendered with mental ray and the cast iron look when rendered with Maya software. One big thing that we observed in this picture was the smooth edge rendering difference on the cabinet knobs and the reflection on the oven. So this is our project, and like we have learned a good amount of things. We learned the Maya software, and we just did rendering and object modeling. So I'll just summarize what the funny things we did. Like Maya is not hard to learn. I'm saying we have many and many tutorials, and just follow it, and you liked it. There are too many materials. Just pick some, and make it a picture, and try to do add things in your leisure time. Light and viewing angles have the most effects on the rendered image, as I've shown. More light source equal to much more rendering time. when you use like Mental Ray, it takes much more, but the quality it produces is awesome. Higher resolution means higher time, higher amount of resources you need to give. So this is our recommendation from our team. First, focus on the modeling and rendering. What you need to model and how do you need to render means how what should be the lighting source on it and everything. Do your research first. Start your research. We start with the tutorials you have. Start with reading some of the concepts and pick a good computer graphics software. I'm not telling Maya is only a computer graphics software. Depends upon the project. Depending upon your project, pick a software and read the documents and see the videos about it and learn it and start your modeling. Yeah, at last, get your hands dirty. Please. These are the references we have to take. Thank you. We hope that you enjoy the presentation of our project. Please do not hesitate to contact us if you want to update our project. Thank you.